Today, it is about to get real. I'm beginning to cook some of my Thanksgiving dinner. Today, I'm preparing collard greens, and I'm going to be using my T-Fal canner or pressure cooker. It's a dual to cook my collard greens in, which typically, before I purchased this, I would have a pot probably about that same size, and the greens would be cooking almost all day. So I'm gonna cook them for about 30 minutes, and then I'm going to bag them up and freeze them. So on Thursday, I will just be able to take them out of the freezer and put them in the pot and warm them up. So that way you get all of that done. This is the weekend. I'm gonna work really hard. You're probably gonna see me wearing the same thing over a couple of videos, because today not only am I cooking my collard greens, but I'm gonna be canning beans. And last night, I canned some more tomatoes. I use a lot of tomatoes, and I probably will be canning more. Canned tomatoes, and I even made tomato juice. Our next step is, since we're cooking a bag of greens, let me show you what they look like. Y'all, I had to wrestle this bag of greens out of the fridge. This is it. This is 2 big bunches of collard greens. Let me take mine. Y'all need to see that. 2 big bunches of collard greens, 2 bunches of turnips, 2 bunches of mustards, dinosaur kale, and what else is in there? That's it. I'm gonna bring you over to the sink and show you what we do to prepare to wash them, because this is a lot of greens and they need to be thoroughly washed. Here we are at the sink, and we're going to prepare to clean the sink for washing the collard greens. Let's pull the hair up. Let's prepare. Wash my stopper. It was already water in here, so we're gonna wash the stopper out real quick. Take it apart, clean it really well. Put another stopper over on the other side, because we're gonna use both sides. Rinse them with hot water. And put them back together. Okay, we got our stoppers washed. And now it's time to wash the sink. Bleach. A little bit of water. And scrub. Over to our side sink. Scrub that. get ready to put our greens in. Put our stock over here. We're running our cold water so that we can put our greens inside. Chopped up all of these greens yesterday while we had a makeshift beauty salon doing hair in here. Well, not in here, but in the dining room. And frying fish, it was fun. Cover these greens with water. Gonna take some apple cider vinegar. Each time, we're gonna leave a few minutes between washing to let it sit in the dirt that are on the greens to go down to the bottom of the sink. While my first wash of my greens is resting, I now have my T-Fal cooker on the stove. I'm heating up water. By the time I finish my third wash of these greens, it'll be time to transfer over here. Let's start chopping the veggies while this is going. I typically put a turnip inside of my greens, green bell pepper, red bell pepper at the end to give it a nice little look. And since I have so many greens, I'm using 2 sweet onions. Let's start chopping. I have all my veggies chopped up. Forgot to tell you about the garlic. That's 3 cloves of garlic, 1 green bell pepper, 1 small red pepper. These are my turnips, which are delicious. And I usually put turkey wings inside of the pot for cooking my greens. I don't feel like looking in a deep freezer for them, so guess what I have? Turkey bacon. We have our meat in here, and now we're going to add our seasonings. We are ready to start placing the greens inside of our pot. I'm going to turn up the heat a little bit, let her come to a boil. We are ready to move our greens over. I checked the book, and because these are vegetables, we want to cook these vegetables in this pot on setting 1.
Notice at this point, I'm going to start adding some of these veggies. I don't have all the greens in, so let's go with our garlic. Our green peppers. Look at that, one of my turnips trying to catch a ride. I'm adding them to the middle so that when I start stirring all of this up before the lid goes on, everything won't be at the bottom. And let's put our turnips in. Try to get them same size, evenly cut. Some are trying to jump away from me. And I hold off on the red peppers because I want them to be towards the end to give some color to my collard greens. They have taste too, but mostly color.
Adding some ghost pepper powder. 1/4 of a teaspoon. Now, if I had my other big product here, I would not be able to add as many greens in here because you would have to let it cook down, but this is good. Got me another spoon. I'm gonna give it a good stir. Olive oil. Half a cup. I know you might think it's going to be oily, but it will not. Let's put our lid on. Since we're cooking, we have our setting on steam right now. When we see a continuous steam come out, we're going to turn it to number 1 and then start our timer. Let's clean up. My timer just went off. I reduced or turned off my heat from the pressure cooker. It's still on number 1 because we are waiting for all of the pressure that's built up in the pan to go down to 0. Once it's down to 0, we'll turn our knob here to the steam position, let all of the rest of the steam come out of the T-Fal pressure canner, and we can remove the lid. Steam is stopped. Let's take her off. Away from me. Turnips are done. These are good. They need more seasoning, but they're pretty good. So what I'm gonna do right now is let this cool down, put it in a freezer bag, and get this canner ready to can collard greens and sweet heat navy beans. Remember, when seasoning your food, put a small amount of salt because it's so much easier to add salt than it is to take it away. Once you've over salted it, it is horrible. So thank you for joining me on cooking collard greens in a T-Fal.